My blog's name is BOLOGNESE, which means beautiful food in Italian. My father was in the military, so I lived in Italy for 7 years. So I got my passion for Italian food learning from neighbors and friends who I consider my family now. So BOLOGNESE, it's not easy to say, it's not easy to spell by any means, but it's important and it means something to me. One of my favorite things to make for fall is a bolognese sauce. If you talk to any family in Northern Italy, they're all gonna have a slightly different version of it. Everyone's gonna be better than the other. It's your recipe, your mom's recipe, your nonna's recipe, your grandma's recipe, and that's the one you use. You really don't mess with things. Today though, KitchenAid challenged us to try to make things a little more fall inspired, so I thought what better than putting mushrooms in the dish. And it's going to mix really well with the carrots and the onions and the celery, and then later on with the wine and the tomato paste, so it's going to give it a nice little oomph. We're going to start off by chopping our veg and making sure everything is done in advance. And these are cremini mushrooms. They're a little bit more sturdy and hearty, perfect for fall. And we're going to do 2 carrots and 2 stalks celery. We're really looking for everything to be the same size because not only do you not want different chunks of sizes in your mouth, it's also going to cook uniformly. And again, if you're not comfortable, just chuck it in your KitchenAid food processor and everything will be uniform. Okay, it's time to get cooking. We're going to start off and we're going to put a little bit of olive oil, a couple of good lugs around the pan. We're just going to drop these in. And I'm gonna add my carrots, celery, I'm gonna add my garlic. And this is just fall in a pot, isn't it? Look at those colors. Orange, bright oranges, the greens. And now for the brown, which definitely screams fall. We're adding our mushrooms. We're just gonna saute this for about 15-20 minutes, and you're just looking for it to be softened. If you're not quite sure, just take a fork, take a bite of the carrots. You don't want crunchy carrots. The carrots are gonna be your cue. Now we're gonna add our meat. I'm gonna start off with, I've got 2 pounds of hamburger meat, and we're gonna add our second meat, which is ground veal. I'm gonna turn the heat up just a little bit because we do have that 3 pounds of meat in there. And you hear that sizzling. This KitchenAid power burner does not mess around. It keeps everything nice and hot and sizzling just like we like it. Okay, now that our meats are all browned and looking very fall-licious, we are going to move on and add our tomato paste. A lot of people might be surprised to know in a bolognese sauce, because it's so rich, dark, and red colored, that there really isn't any tomatoes in here. It's just the tomato paste and the red wine, of course. When you cook, your food actually talks to you. All these sounds are cues that let you know when things are done. And now that our wine has cooked down by half, we're going to turn our burner down to a simmer. And I know when I turn my KitchenAid burner down to a simmer, it's actually a simmer. And we're going to add water. A little more kosher salt, and another turn of our peppercorns. And here's where the waiting game begins. It's all about layering flavors with the bolognese recipe. We're gonna let it sit and simmer for hours and hours. And when your liquid level gets a little bit low, we're gonna add some more water and bring it up. And putting it down, bring it up. Until about 4 hours, you can check it if it's where you like it. If not, keep it on simmer, let it go. Season it with salt and pepper, and you're ready for one of the best meat sauces you've ever had in your life. Now that you've tackled this amazing meat sauce, there's so many things you can do with it. My favorite way to enjoy this sauce is with the lasagna. You can stuff it into a manicotti, make stuffed shells. You can put it with a chunky pasta. Just be sure you share it with your family and friends. Food is love, and it's all about sharing.